Hello and good morning. Welcome to your Tuesday edition of Let's Talk About Us. Today we are recovering a story because there's been an update. Last time we sort of went over a strike with Boeing. They had offered a deal that was not good. I believe it was 25% when the union wanted 40%. And then we talked a little bit about what happened to Boeing, and I had to go back and look it up because I knew I wasn't all the way right in what I said last video. So back in '97, Boeing went and purchased and had a merger with Donald McDouglas, which was a different airplane company, and that merger is what changed the culture of Boeing and what turned it into the mess that we currently see today, with them being in court, with them being, what was it, they last video, $60 billion in debt. And right now, from what it looks like, they're trying to put the hurt and put the blame on the workers, which I'm going to help try not let that happen by covering this for you today. We are using Associated Press, which is a left-leaning news source, though it does have one center-leaning rating by Advantas Media. Has an average factuality rating of high, and it is owned independently. Boeing's final 30% pay hike offer isn't good enough, union says. By David Koenig. Oh, same guy. I like when they keep the same writer on the connected articles. Although, wasn't there another person? I think there was another person on last article too. I think it was a double header. But let's see what David has to say. Boeing said Monday it made a best and final offer to striking machinists that includes bigger raises and larger bonuses. But the workers' union said the proposal isn't good enough and there won't be a ratification vote before Boeing's deadline at the end of the week. The union complained that Boeing publicized its latest offer to 33,000 striking workers without first bargaining with the union negotiators. Okay, alright, so they just made a general announcement to everybody. Boeing does not get to decide when or if you vote. Leaders of the International Oh, I see. Okay. So they made it sound, Boeing made it sound like a deal was already done. Like this was the offer at hand and the union was going to sign off on it. Right? That's what you're trying to get at here. Boeing does not get to decide when or if you vote. Leaders of the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers, District 751, told members Monday night, the company has refused to meet for further discussion, therefore we will not be voting on Friday, as Boeing insisted. Okay. Because otherwise, this doesn't make sense. Like, if Boeing, makes this big public announcement, is that what they're going for? Are they trying to convince the striking workers that, oh, hey, deal's here, deal's good, when in reality nothing has happened? Maybe. Let's continue reading. Boeing said that after 2 days of talks last week with federal mediators, oh, I see, there should have been a they here. They failed to produce an agreement. Okay. We presented a best and final offer that made significant improvements and addresses feedback from the union and our employees. Okay. The new offer is more generous than the last one that was overwhelmingly rejected earlier this month. The company said the offer includes pay raises of 30% over 4 years, up from 25% in the first proposal. The union originally demanded 40% over 3 years. Okay. So we went up 5% and we tacked on a year from Boeing's side of things. Okay. The new offer, and labeling it a final one, demonstrates Boeing's eagerness to end the strike that began September 13th. The company introduced rolling furloughs of non-unionized employees last week to cut costs during the strike. Okay. So punishing workers is what we're on right now. We're just firing people now, left and right. Well, furloughing, temporary firing. This is something that doesn't get talked about enough. When companies do this, when companies have to do rolling furloughs and cut people's hours, and deny people their money that they sign contracts to work for, 40-hour work week. This is not the workers' fault. This is not the union's fault. This is the fault of, I believe his name is Brian, person who's just been casually overseeing a $60 billion debt and only just now changing things when the workers strike, when the workers decide to not, this is a tale as old as time, of the people on top punishing and targeting the people at the bottom. Man, that sucks. That really sucks. The strikers face their own financial pressure to return to work. They received their final paychecks last week and will lose company-provided health insurance at the end of the month, according to Boeing. Now, with this, the losing the company-provided health insurance, the Boeing workers, if you remember last article, have already been losing their health insurance. That was one of the things that Boeing was stealing from as they were giving money out. The whole, I give you money with one hand, I take it away with the other. Like, Boeing thinks they're slick, but they're not. The company said its new offer is contingent on members of the machinist unions in the Pacific Northwest ratifying the contract by late Friday night, when the strike will be a little over 2 weeks old. The union, which represents factory workers who assemble some of the company's best-selling planes, waited several hours before pushing back Monday night. This proposal does not go far enough to address your concerns, and Boeing has missed the mark with this proposal, the union told members. The group added that it will survey members about the new offer. So the union they've heard the offer, and they haven't rejected it, doesn't sound like. It sounds like what they're doing is going by the process, talking to the union members, probably going to hold a vote on it, like amongst themselves to see if they'll accept it. I mean, if enough people like it, I guess then good. I mean, that's a 30% rather than a 25%, as well as the additional just under $5,000 for their retirement accounts. Okay. Boeing's latest offer includes upfront pay raises of 12%, so they just get 12% pay raise immediately. Okay, plus 3 annual raises of 6% each, so that's over the 4 years. It would double the size of ratification bonuses to $6,000. Okay. It would also keep annual bonuses based on productivity in the rejected contract. Boeing sought to replace those payouts with new contributions to retirement accounts. Yeah, that's the thing. That thing I mentioned earlier with the just under $5,000 a year to their retirement. Boeing said average annual pay for machinists would rise from $75,608 now to $111,155 at the end of the 4-year contract. Okay, that's pretty nice. That almost sounds like it will keep up with inflation, depending on how much inflation goes up. What was it? It was 25% offered last time. The union person in that article had said that it would basically come out to, with the current inflation and trends and whatnot, it would come out to a 9% total raise over the 4-year period that they were still suggesting last time. So what's the new math then? If you're going 30% instead of 25%, so the actual total based on last article where the union person was talking about the 25% going to a 9% would then increase to a 14% total raise. Okay, adjusted for inflation. All right. The new offer would not restore a traditional pension plan that Boeing eliminated about a decade ago. The new offer would not restore a traditional pension plan that Boeing eliminated about a decade. Okay, so that was one of the things I believe they were talking about in last article, was they want their pensions back. Yeah, striking workers cited pay and pensions as a reason why they voted 94.6% against the company's previous offer. 33,000 people voting that hard. Yeah. All right. Boeing also renewed a promise to build its new airline plane in the Seattle area if that project starts in the next 4 years. That was a key provision for union leaders who recommended adoption of the original contract offer, but one that seemed less persuasive to rank-and-file members. The strike is likely already starting to reduce Boeing's ability to generate cash. The company gets much of its cash when it delivers new planes, but the strike has shut down production of 737s, 777s, and 767s. Work on 787s continues with non-union workers in South Carolina. Oh, okay. Workers in South Carolina, where's your union at? Where's your protection? Where's your power to the people? That might be this sentence might bear some more investigation to look into that. On Friday, Boeing began requiring thousands of managers and non-union employees to take 1 week off without pay every 4 weeks under the temporary rolling furloughs. It also has announced a hiring freeze, reducing business travel and decreased spending on suppliers. Okay, so yep, we're blaming our workers. We're targeting the people who make us money, who make us filthy fucking rich. And we're also doing a thing that you should have been doing a long time ago. You don't just get to $60 billion in debt. Cool. The money-saving measures are expected to last as long as the strike continues. Okay, that's the end of the article. So, what it sounds like is, just like last video I said, Boeing is finding out. They've had 20 plus years since this merger with Douglas to get their finances straight, to get their the way they do business straight, and they just haven't done it. They've had, it's not like this is coming out of nowhere. It's not like, the what was the guy's name? Brian, their financial manager, or the CFO, I think it was. It's not like he just woke up, back on September 13th and was like, man, these workers, they're striking out of nowhere. Oh man, what's going on? If Boeing goes out of business, I would hope that the federal government steps in and essentially just divides them up and says, okay, Boeing, you're done. You have failed as a company. You have failed your people, your workers. And each one of their facilities gets to become its own little airplane company, I think that's something that the federal government needs to be doing across the board. Not just with Boeing, but I mean, we've seen it and we've covered it with other news stories. With Google, for example. Google is being very much looked at by the federal government right now. And whether they'll get busted for having monopoly or not, I don't know. We'll cover it though if that happens. What are your thoughts? Leave them down in the comments. Anyway, this has been Let's Talk About Us. I hope you have a good Tuesday. Y'all have a good day.